Hello everyone, welcome back. And in this video, I'm going to give you guys a fourth stimulus package update regarding the $6 trillion budget reconciliation package that currently is being worked on by Chuck Schumer and Bernie Sanders, as well as an inside report followed by a fourth stimulus check update. So let's go ahead and get straight into the latest news. I'm going to start out with this Yahoo Finance article. So as you guys can see, fourth stimulus check, these new payments are already in the pipeline, meaning that multiple Democratic members and colleagues are all discussing stimulus checks, what's going to happen with them, are they going to be included in the $6 trillion budget reconciliation package? This is the key question. This is what all of us are wondering. This is what all of us are thinking about. Scores of lawmakers want to give Americans a fourth round of relief payment and maybe more beyond that, meaning multiple stimulus checks, maybe a fourth and fifth possible recurring or automatic triggered stimulus checks, depending on how the economy goes. But it's not clear whether House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and other congressional leaders will roll a new stimulus check into the upcoming legislation to fix U.S. infrastructure and help families. So basically what they're saying right now is that what is going on regarding the infrastructure bill, the bipartisan infrastructure bill, as well as the budget reconciliation $6 trillion bill, they're still working out the details of what is going to be included in it and making sure that they have all of their members in line on board to be able to pass the budget reconciliation $6 trillion infrastructure package, which includes stimulus. It is the American Jobs Plan and American Families Plan combined. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the inside report, and I'm just going to read it just how it's stated to me. So this is a massive week for President Joe Biden's quest to cut a bipartisan infrastructure deal, and we expect the president to lean in and try to move the process along. Here's the news we have after relentlessly bugging people on Father's Day. And that's first of all, the White House truly seems to believe a deal with the bipartisan group of 20 senators is doable and perhaps even likely. We can't tell how much of this is sunny optimism and how much is actually just reality. Now, before I even go ahead, if you guys are new to politics, if you guys are new to this stimulus updates, you have to be prepared to, expect to be included in an emotional roller coaster ride. This politics is an emotional roller coaster ride. That's the easiest way I can put it to you guys. If you guys are not prepared for that, you guys are in for a ride, because I've seen multiple people say checks are coming out in July, checks are coming out in June, checks are coming out in August. The reality is, we can only see checks as far as right now, what is going on, coming out in late August, maybe even late September. So definitely not June. It's pretty much already over, and definitely not July, because of the way they're setting things up to get the reconciliation package passed. The bipartisan infrastructure is not going to be stimulus checks included because Republicans are in on it. It's a bipartisan deal, and we know that Republicans are against including more stimulus checks to American families. Now, besides politics being an emotional roller coaster ride, let's go ahead and get straight back into this inside report. So first of all, the White House truly seems to believe a deal with the bipartisan group of 20 senators is doable. The White House's main focus this week is to try to figure out what is the mix of offsets. So the bipartisan group of senators will be back off its incentives on hiking the gas tax and instituting a tax on miles driven by electrical vehicles. These fees seem to be red lines for the administration, and the White House has made suggestions to the group on different ways to drop these provisions while continuing to pay for the entire package. Now, regarding what they're using or the provisions that they're trying to subside against the gas tax increases and the electric vehicle miles increase, that's still unclear. There's no new information regarding what has been offered. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that, because the bipartisan infrastructure deal is a key deal regarding the budget reconciliation package, because if they can get a bipartisan infrastructure deal passed, then Manchin and Sinema are more likely to go along with a Democrat-only bill, the budget reconciliation, the fourth stimulus package, as long as they can get some bipartisan deal done regarding half of the infrastructure, meaning the American Jobs Plan, which is currently what the 20 GOP members or 20 senators are working on. That is the bipartisan deal that they're talking about, is the American Jobs Plan, the second part of the Build Back Better plan. Now, on the House side, the Democrats will begin preparing to work a $574 billion surface transportation bill coming out of the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, with some water rate related legislation from the Energy and Commerce Committee. This will head to the floor next week, delivering on Nancy Pelosi's promise to pass an infrastructure package by the July 4th recess. We also know that Chuck Schumer is trying to get the budget resolution passed by the beginning of July, and also the bipartisan infrastructure bill passed by the beginning of July. Now it's crunch time for the Democrats for the People's Act this week. The drama has been building for weeks on the Democrats' big election reform bill, and will come to a head on Tuesday when the Senate votes on whether to move forward with the debate on the former People Act bill, the People Act bill. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get straight into the stimulus portion of this report. Schumer backs expanding Medicare for dental, vision, and hearing. Senator Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is now backing Senator Sanders' plan to add dental, vision, and hearing coverage to Medicare, which will cost an estimated $350 billion to $400 billion over a decade. So out of this $6 trillion bill, we're looking at $350 to $400 billion of that going towards Medicare. All right, that's the $2 trillion extra from the Build Back Better plan, because we know that was a $4 trillion plan. The $2 trillion extra, we now know that $350 to $400 billion is likely going towards Medicare out of that $2 trillion that was over the $4 trillion limit, if that makes sense to you guys. Also, Schumer's office wouldn't say whether Schumer is also backing Sanders' call to lower the Medicare eligibility age to 60 or even 55. Now, a lot of this is good news regarding Medicare, because if they can get this passed, this budget reconciliation package, if they can have all of their Democratic members on board, which I said if they pass the bipartisan infrastructure bill, there's a good chance they will, then this is going to be really good news for people on Medicare, people that haven't reached 65 years of age yet, and it even suggests possibly even people 55 would be eligible for Medicare, as well as including dental, vision, and hearing benefits into that. Okay, with the current Medicare platform, those three things are just left out. It's like it's no big deal, but it is a big deal, and we should fix it. Now, Sanders is drafting a $6 trillion budget reconciliation bill. Wrap your mind around that number. That will include President Joe Biden's American Jobs Plan and American Families Plan. Those two proposals have combined a $4 trillion price tag. Now, President Biden is going to meet with the Democratic senators on today and tomorrow to discuss the $6 trillion budget reconciliation package, to really get an idea of where they're heading with it, what's going to be included regarding Social Security increases, regarding stimulus checks. Really a stronger foundation to be made that all of the Democrats would be able to come together and be able to pass together. All of them could be in agreement with. That is what President Joe Biden is trying to do this week. He's trying to make sure that they are all on the same page. They can all pass a budget reconciliation that includes stimulus that no one is against. Now, as you guys can see on this article right here, discussions on a possible fourth stimulus check have been rather flat over the last few weeks, but new developments might come next week as Congress is set to meet again. Yahoo Finance reports that Congress could be discussing a fourth stimulus check soon. Now that Congress is meeting once again, discussions surrounding another stimulus payment are likely. Now, there are some lawmakers who have voiced their support for another round of stimulus checks, according to CNET, but others argue that stimulus money should be lower on the agenda because the U.S. economy is showing signs of recovery from the pandemic. Now, stimulus checks are very needed. A lot of people, a lot of families are still hurting from the debt caused from the pandemic. The petition, change.org petition, is constantly growing daily regarding including a $2,000 stimulus check into the next stimulus package, as well as the House Ways and Means Committee. They are pushing for the $2,000 stimulus checks, and Bernie Sanders is the leader behind the $2,000 stimulus check, monthly recurring stimulus checks. That is currently the leader of the $6 trillion budget reconciliation plan. So a lot of good and positive energy is going towards stimulus checks regarding the new fourth stimulus package, meaning the budget reconciliation package. The question is, when are we going to get confirmation that there are going to be a fourth stimulus check or multiple fourth stimulus checks included into that budget reconciliation? As of right now, we currently do not know, but we do know that Congress is going to be speaking about the fourth stimulus checks throughout this week and the following weeks up until the end of July. Now, hopefully we can get some new information regarding the fourth stimulus check being included into the stimulus package by the end of this week or by the end of next week, so we can really go ahead and, relax, stop being so anxious. Just know that it's there, that even if it's not going to be an easy ride, that at least they are included, that we know that they are included. And if you guys are struggling with this, just remember to stay positive and stay optimistic. Like I said, there's multiple pushes for fourth stimulus checks. There's multiple articles, analysts, economists advisors that are all pushing for fourth stimulus checks to be included. The question is, when are we going to get the confirmation that they are? So hopefully this week we can get some confirmation. We can see that they finally are included.